a babysitter. You know the playroom can get out of control and it can happen fast. But there are some easy ways to get organized fast as well. And this morning's certified professional organizer, Eliza Cantlay, she's from Simplicana. She's here with some great ideas, some suggestions, things we need to remember. And my favorite suggestion so far is right off the bat, keep toys at a reasonable number.
Oh, yeah.
Because, I mean, when you have 57,000 things, of course it's going to be a mess. It's hard to organize 57,000 things.
Absolutely.
Okay, so what are some of your other tips for us?
Okay, so the two biggest tips, number one is, you know how the kitchen sort of becomes the heart of the home, whether people want it to or not? So that's typically where the parents are, and that's where the kids want to be around. So if you have your playroom closer to the kitchen or the heart of the home, you're going to get less of that toy trail that tends to just grow legs all over the house.
Good advice.
A lot of people like to do their playrooms in basements, but it's actually better to have it on the main level in that heart area.
Okay, very good.
The second tip, and this actually I think is even more important, is I think it's a great idea to, as I said, have less is more when it comes to toys. And there are three ways that you can do this. One, use the one in, one out rule.
So they get something new, they either donate something,
right,
or they give something away. You know, that's a good lesson for kids too.
It is, and it's great to take them to the donation place because then they see where their toys are getting and they get excited.
Right. Okay,
so
perfect.
Another thing you can do is to discourage the big gift givers like the grandparents.
The drum sets and the...
Right. Well, maybe encourage them to give experiences and memories. So sports lessons, music lessons, museum memberships, rather than the stuff. Give the experiences, not the stuff that breaks.
Very good. Very
that
good.
can definitely keep the toy levels down. And then third of all, it's good to discourage emotional attachments to the toys.
Okay.
Right, so Auntie Muriel gave you that from Europe. You can't get rid of that. But what we're really doing is projecting those emotional attachments onto the kids, which encourages materialism later in life.
Okay, but we all collect stuff, so
We
you
do.
actually have some ideas to help us, once we have a bunch of stuff, how we can organize.
Right, so there will always be toys. And so when you do, you know, keep the big groups, like the blocks, the dress up, in large clear bins and have them labeled. And you'll see that my young friend Danny helped me label these drawers, and I wanted her to label it because it makes it more personal to the kid. She's owning that system. She wrote it, she decorated it. She's going to use that system more.
Perfect.
Right.
Okay, so those are like the big things.
Those are the big things.
Now, if we have smaller things,
so
like
smaller
marbles
things,
and dice and cards. And
right, and I'll definitely talk about this in a second. So for the small things like card games, puzzle pieces, these are the things you don't necessarily want your kids to have access to without asking your permission. So these are the things that will be high up on the shelf.
Okay.
And they can take, you can get one thing down for them. They play with it. When they're done, they have to clean it up before they can earn the next thing.
Okay.
They're not like the
like
big
you're
things.
Thinking.
Right. So now this system over here, this is to encourage kids to clean up their toys.
Okay.
So like right here, we've got the gamer kid with all the dice, and we've got the artsy kid with the marbles. So when your kid does something wonderful, like picking up their toys and putting them where they're supposed to go, they get an item in their jar. And if they do it without being asked, they could get 2 items in their jar.
Oh,
right.
And then they get a reward or something.
They get a reward, and I recommend that the reward not be a toy, maybe an ice cream outing. And then the first kid who hits the top then encourages the other kids to get to the top to discourage sibling rivalry. And then there could be a big reward, like maybe a Worlds of Fun outing.
Once everybody gets there.
Exactly.
Good advice. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
If you'd like more information from Eliza, you can check out Simplicana.com. You can also find her on Facebook, on Twitter, as well as Pinterest. Just search Simplicana.com.